Welcome, everybody. I'm guessing that you can hear me. This is the first time we've done a webinar, so I don't actually know. Maybe you can tell me in the chat if you're in here. Let us know if you're here. Actually, you should let us know in the chat where you are watching from. We would love to know that. Oh. Ooh, okay, someone's audio isn't working. Can other people hear me?
I can hear
Okay, that's good.
you.
Right. Yay, okay, good. Someone from Georgia. Exciting. Hi, Sherry, welcome. Welcome, everybody. Thanks for joining. Let us know where you are coming from, where you're tuning in from. We're so excited you're here. Ohio, yay. Welcome, Jessica. Welcome, Kathy from Trinidad. Awesome. Oh my gosh. Crystal, welcome from Minnesota. Yay. Judy from Texas, welcome. Yay, we'll get started in just a couple minutes here. Thank you guys for joining. Ooh, Jessica said she can't see the chat. Jessica, if you look at the bottom bar, there's a button that says chat, so you should be able to see it there, hopefully.
They're not going to be able to see it. Unfortunately, the default
Oh,
was set prior to them coming in, and now it won't reset for people.
oh,
So we'll
okay.
be able to change that for the next webinar.
Okay, that's good to know. Thanks. All right, so you can just type in where you're coming from. You won't be able to see other people's chat, but we will be monitoring the chat so that we can just make sure that you guys, if you have questions or anything, we can make sure those get answered. Yay, we have in Asheville, North Carolina.
Oh, hey, that's me.
That's awesome. Savannah's from Asheville.
Yes.
Adrian is also from Asheville. That's so cool. Kristen's on. Hi, Kristen. Hello from New Jersey, she says.
Oh, hey, girl. Sorry, Katie.
It's great. I love it.
Okay, guys, we're at go time, so we can get started.
All right, let's do it. Yay. All right, thank you guys so much for joining. I'm so happy that you're all here. Thank you so much for joining webinar number 1. Today we are talking about getting started and with Classkick and how to see student thinking as it happens. We're going to talk about real-time insights. We're going to talk about providing feedback in the moment for your students. And we're also going to talk about creating assignments within Classkick in 10 minutes or less. It's really quick. We have two teachers here with us. These are teachers who use Classkick in their own classrooms. They both are coaches with the Classkick Coach program, and I'm super excited to introduce them. I'm going to actually let them tell you a little bit more about themselves, but Savannah and Braylee are our two coaches, so we'll go ahead and get started. I also have Rachel here with us. She is our marketing director for Classkick. And then I'll introduce myself as well. My name's Katie, and I am the community coordinator for Classkick. So that just means I do a lot of like the teacher facing things. So thank you guys so much for being here. Super excited. And if you have questions, pop them in the chat because we can answer them throughout or even like pause. And then there will be time at the very end for Q&A. So we'll make sure that anything that doesn't get addressed in the session will get addressed after during the Q&A time. Okay. So thank you guys so much. And let's go ahead and get started. Savannah and Braylee, you're up.
Okay, well, I'll introduce myself real fast. I'm Savannah. I've taught for 8 years in North Carolina, and I have been using Classkick for I think 6 of those 8 years with first and second graders. So one thing I love about Classkick is it's great for all ages, and you can differentiate for those different ages and those different groups, which I love, and it updates in real time because. I don't know if y'all been there, but I am definitely one that makes mistakes or little errors that need to be fixed. The kids catch it and I can change it, and it works on all their screens at the same time. I just think that's so cool. Like Google Classroom, like you will make a mistake and you have to reassign it. And so I just wanted to plug that. That is just the best thing for me. Okay, Braylee.
Hi. I am Braylee. I teach virtually at a school in Oklahoma. This is I don't even know how many years. Since 2021, I've been fully virtual in our math department at my school. This is my second full year of using Classkick. And like Savannah, I am a coach in the coaches program. So we love getting to meet with teachers from all over the world and help you guys learn more about Classkick and make you more comfortable with that program and using it with your students, not just with teachers that are at our schools. Um, Let's see. Like Savannah said, one of my absolute favorite things is the feedback for the students. Being in a fully virtual environment, it's so huge to be able to give my students that immediate feedback or even write on their screens. I don't have another program that has been able to allow me to get right into a math problem and circle the part that my students have made a mistake on. And then also, like Savannah mentioned, being able to fix your oopsies right in the middle of the lesson and not have to relaunch the whole lesson has been amazing. Or adding in alternate answers that it's not auto grading correctly. That has been a huge game changer for me in my classroom for these last 2 years. All right. I think I'm supposed to go first, and we are going, like she said at the beginning, talking a little bit about building lessons in Classkick. So the way that I'm going to show you guys is if you are bringing in content from other locations, and a lot of the times how I will do that is with screenshots or copying and pasting material. So from your main screen in Classkick, let me get my screen shared real quick. So the method that I will typically use is when you're coming to do create new in this upper hand corner, I will typically just start with a blank assignment is where I will come. It defaults to 3 slides. I know I'm always going to have way more than 3 slides. So I go ahead and click the plus button and just add several slides. Once I'm in there, I will show you guys a lesson I already have completed. So that way we can look at what one already looks like. So this is a study guide that I have for my students, and I use Classkick in all kinds of different methods. So I can show you how I use a study guide. I do my test corrections for my students in Classkick, and then I also have lessons that I open for my students and use every day while I'm teaching them. But for our study guides and especially for our test corrections, most of those are direct screenshots from the actual test. So I will pull up wherever I have given the test to my students. Right now, our school is using Schoology. So I will pull those up and use the snipping tool on my computer or screenshot, whatever you're familiar with. And then from the screen, I come in here and either copy paste the image into here. So this is directly from my test. And then on the test, it just gives them the little bubbles. But in the corrections, I want it to say A, B, C, D. So I add little text boxes so that I can put the A, B, C, D choices. And then I have multiple choice. So I've added that multiple choice option, which is up here at the top. And you can build in a correct answer. You can have it give points. You can have it not give points. So especially on test corrections, we have the whole entire assignment set to not show points so that I can see if they got it right, but the student cannot see. So they can't just click through the options until they get it right. I want to actually know, yes, you selected the correct answer, and then they can either type into this box or use the pen tool to work out the problem and show their thought process for me. And then I can come in and either manually give them points or use a fancy sticker to give them points if they have earned the points back on that slide. So that's a way that I use to not show points. The study guide, I do have points turned on. So that's awesome for my students. They work on this outside of class. As they're working on it with their fill in the blank questions, they can click on these and they type their answer in, and it will tell them correct or not. And again, you can set points or not set points. So if you don't set points on a blank, it still turns green and gives them a check mark if they're correct. So they get that immediate feedback. The downside and something you guys do have to keep in mind is it does, if it's a number answer, it does have to be typed in exactly how you have it set in the answer key. So you can add lots of different acceptable answers. So for example, if the answer was like 0.5, I would build in zero point 0.5 and 0.50 and 0.50 and just anything you would think of as an acceptable answer, you want to build in as your answer choices. As you're going through and grading, you do have an option to accept student responses. So if that's another response that you want to say is okay, you can add it and it adds it into your acceptable answers if you wanted to do that. But all of these are great feedback again in class, especially as we're getting closer to state testing. I start my lesson with the points turned off so my students can get comfortable with not getting that immediate feedback. I can still see on my side if they are correct or not. But then about halfway through the lesson, I can turn the points back on and they can navigate back through the slides and correct any of the slides that they missed. So it's giving them that opportunity to get comfortable with not having the immediate answer if they were yes or no correct, but also being able to correct anything. All right. Was there anything I left out, Savannah? Did I leave anything out?
I thought you did so good. I'm telling you, I love learning from other educators. I feel like once you're in the classroom, like when you're in college, you observe all these teachers and you don't realize how cool that is. And then when you become a teacher, like you're like, you never get to see anybody else. So like getting to learn from you and seeing that perspective of like the older kids and the harder stuff, like that was awesome. Okay, so I'll move on. Or did you have anything else, Braylee? Think of anything? Okay, cool.
No, go ahead.
I'll swap and share my screen here. Okay, so I'm going to be talking about really the littles. So how Classkick is best work for littles, but you're going to see all kinds of tools that works for everybody. That's just kind of my wheelhouse. So I'm going to start by creating a new assignment, and hopefully my mouse is good and big so you can see it. You can add in a PDF. I'm going to focus on just creating something from scratch and throwing something in there real quick, and talk about how you can differentiate. So I always like to title. We are going to do a little digraph. Whoops, I never can type right when people are watching. Digraph detective activity. Okay. I open up my first slide. It is blank. I want to basically have a passage that kids can highlight and be the little detectives and find certain digraphs. So SH, CH, we're working with consonant digraphs. Now, I went ahead in Gemini and I was just like, hey, can you create me a decodable passage for a first grade class that uses the digraphs SH, CH, blah, 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 all that. And this is what it came up for me. And look, you can see where I already grabbed it, but I'm going to copy and paste that. It's called A Trip to Fields. This is what it gave me. And I'm going to paste it right into Classkick. Use the text box tool. Boom. Now it's really, really big, and I'm going to make it a little smaller. um, so from here, you can edit it. When you read this, you're like, hey, I don't like this sentence. I might change a word. You can do that. But this is kind of the passage I'm going to work with. And I always like a good old heading. So digraph, detective. Okay, cool. So from at this point, I want to leave I need to give a little more instructions. And I don't know if it'll let me record on Zoom. We're going to try it in a second. But let's say I'm going to have the kids highlight um, these, highlight the digraphs, the following colors. And I want this a little smaller. And let's just see if my audio will work. I kind of doubt it. Does anyone already know this answer?
It may have you mute yourself in the Zoom
Okay, let's see.
to be able
The
to do
wrong
it.
thing. Oh, well, okay. Let's see what happens. Oh, it says it's recording, so I can record myself giving the instructions. Highlight the digraphs, the following colors. It's just an example, and I don't know if you'll be able to hear it. Oh, it says it's recording, so I can record myself giving the instructions. Highlight the digraphs, the following colors. Is that not cool? Okay, so for the littles, I like to record myself giving the instructions. That way they don't have to come up to me a million times and ask what they were supposed to do, even though they still do. I'm like, go listen to the instructions. Okay, so I want to give them a key, and I'm going to show you how fun and easy this is. So my different digraphs, I'm going to use SH, CH, TH, hang in there. I got 6, CK, oops. What am I missing? WH. So from here, I can go grab my highlighter tool. Let's see, and do different colors for each. So let's say I want SH to be green. I want them to highlight TH purple. Now this is a lot. Like if it was just I was just teaching this, I could, or if I was doing this for different kids, I can differentiate like a slide and copy this slide and say, I just want you to find SH. I just want you to find WH. But if let's say it's the end of the unit and you want them to do a lot more, then you can do this. All right, so you guys can get this. And then they can go through and code it, find their digraphs, and then you can advise them to record themselves reading this. I love doing that. You can also add an image, which I asked Gemini to do. Lovely. And to add an image, you go to the picture, upload from computer. You can also take a picture of yourself. And I believe it's this one. Yes. Next. Super easy to add an image. It does sometimes make it very large, so you might have to do some adjusting. And there we go. So now I have a cool picture to go with it. The kids love a good picture. I've also used Gemini to make it into a song or an audio. I might not let me play it. That's okay. And I can upload that. When I go to record my audio, there's a button that says select file. And then here, this is called Lunch at the White Shop. This is a recording. It's actually a song.
Seth and Beth had one big wish. They wanted to go to the shop on the path.
Okay, that was a small little side note. I just love how you can upload any audio. So if you have a recording of an author reading a passage or a poem, you can put that in there. Okay, and then of course you can add a little background and make it fun. Let's see, let's go pink or gray. Gray, cool. You can see all the colors if it's gray. Now I want to show you the auto grading feature because Classkick has this amazing feature that helps you grade. And let's be honest, we don't have a lot of time to grade. I mean, I don't. I feel like, you have so many papers. This is just really helpful to get feedback right away. So I'm just going to throw something together here to show you a little bit about that and to show you just how fast and easy it is to make things. So I'm going to use a couple words. And the kids are going to be placing the correct digraph in with the word. I have to think about the word. Let's do sock. This is like your challenge to figure out what I'm using. Own. Just gonna go for this for now. Okay. So, if you don't know it, I'm doing dish, well, sock, and phone. And I'm gonna make this bigger because I am gonna be putting in some manipulatives as well as adding in some auto grading questions. Okay. I'll start with auto grading. I'm gonna grab the tool. And I want to add sorry, I have to move my camera thing over. Add an acceptable answer. I'm going to add SH for this one. I don't think I would have any other correct answer, but as Braylee was saying, you can add other answers here. And set points, I'm just going to go 1 point each. Go add another one. I won't do all these just so you guys can get the idea, but add in my acceptable answer and boom. Okay, now I want to add some manipulatives, some pictures. I'm going to go ahead and change this background. Let's just go purple. I want also with background, just so I can show you, you can use, you can import your own background or use some that Classkick has given you. These over here are just really random, but you can also make it fun. Oh, that's cute. Okay, let's go with it. Well, for the purpose of this activity, I'm going to make it a plain color. I want to add in some pictures and tell the students to drag into a spot. So I'm going to just screen clip a square in the white space. I know this seems silly, but hang in there with me and paste that. Okay, cool. So this, and I can also duplicate things in Classkick, which I love. Easy peasy, easy peasy. Okay. Now I'm going to, let's just keep it the same size and okay, hold on a second. Make a little space. Okay, Savannah, you don't have to be picky right now. I'm gonna scratch that. All right, manipulatives. The best way to make your manipulatives is to, in my opinion, put them all in one image, download that image, and then you can snip them from each one. So I'm just going to show you a quick way I do that. Slide.new will take you to a Google slide. And I'm just going to search quickly for a couple images. We'll do stock and web. And I had phone as one of mine. And I probably should say clip art, but here we go. I know kids don't even know what that kind of phone is these days. So a phone, and let's do, well, a whale clip art. That'd be easy to find. Yeah. Okay, cool. Here we go. All right. Then once you have all your pictures here, and I like to try to make them the same size now to save time later, you can download this slide as a PNG image. And now I'm going to upload that file up into Classkick with my manipulative toolbar. And here they are. Now I'm going, instead of hitting next right now, I'm going to go snip little photos at a time. Like I want this one, next. I'm going to add another and grab my whale. Next, next. If I had more, I would just keep adding, but for the sake of this quick video. And boom, boom. Now students can move these. What's awesome though, students can't move this stuff. Like in Google Slide when they delete stuff that you put in there, they can't do anything with this. Hallelujah. But they can move the picture. So I would want to make it to fit the size of my box, and that would match whale. Now, if I was actually giving this assignment to students, I would set this up a little bit better to look a little bit better, but you kind of get the gist. The last thing I want to show you is how to have students see their points. With a lot of the littles, I want them to be using this to like learn as they go. We still do assessments, but I love for their independent practice to learn as they go. So to do this, you're going to go to view work, and I actually haven't put this in a roster, so let me assign a roster real quick. I'm just going to go. Okay, you go to filters. Show students their points. So as they put in their answers for the auto grading, let's just go to a quick preview. They'll be able to see if they were right or wrong. And you can turn this on at any point of the assignment. So if they type in SH and step away from it, it's going to turn green. If they type in CH, it's going to be red. Okay. All right. I hope I didn't go too fast, and I hope I made sense. But that is all I have for my quick assignment creation.
Katie did want me to show in class when I'm using this, how I can toggle on and off points. And then other things that are in here I can show you guys as well. So when you open a topic or open a lesson, you're typically on this edit screen. That's where we both just were. If you are in class and you want to toggle it, you can do it from the filters where Savannah was just looking at. So you have the points option, the hide option, and the lock option. You also can come to this assign tab, and this lets you see all of the rosters you have assigned this lesson to, and you can quickly toggle on or off points for all of your rosters or just one of them. You can also hide the lesson. So when students click your link, they would not be able to view the lesson at all. So I use this. I go ahead and assign my students through the roster before class, and I don't unhide it until they get in there into class. So that way they don't work ahead and work through all of the slides. If you don't mind if they get into the slides but don't want them working yet, you can also use the lock feature that lets them get in, click through the slides, view the slides, but they can't manipulate anything or type into the boxes or answer the multiple choice questions. So those are awesome to have as well, turned on or off. Okay. Do we have any questions about, do we want to stop and do questions about any of that or head right into the library? And just kind of do questions about everything.
What do you think, Katie?
Yeah, let's head into the library stuff and then we'll just take questions at the end so we can
Okay.
check in with you
Okay.
guys.
Well, I already have my screen shared, so I will keep going talking about the library. So in the library, you can get to it multiple ways. So up here in the create new, you can choose to browse assignment library. You can also click where it says hello and your first name, and that will take you to templates and libraries. Once that opens up, you guys should have access to our Classkick library and a library for your school. So the library for your school is going to be any lessons that teachers at your school have created, and they have that lesson set to shared status. So if you don't know what I'm talking about when I say shared status, in this edit screen, under your access, you can do private or shared. So anything that has that shared status will show up in that school library. And you will be able to search for the title of that assignment. You can look for a specific teacher who created that assignment. So if you have a partner teacher that you guys are sharing lessons, you could just search for that teacher's stuff. You can look by grade level or subject as long as that teacher has chosen those filters on their edit side of that lesson. But you can click on any of these lessons, get a preview if it's something that you want to use, even use part of it. You can copy this assignment and it will copy it into your library so that you can edit, manipulate, delete slides that you don't want to use, add in your own slides, and then assign to your rosters. So everything is all available and there for you. Savannah, do you want to talk about the public library?
Sure. Okay, let's see. Yeah. All right. So, oh, here's our lovely practice page. All right, I'm going to go to it by hitting create new, and I'm going to go find browse assignment library. Now, like Braylee said, we really want to show you and talk about how you can make this your own. Like, you don't have to use it exactly as is, but you can use it for inspiration, or you can make a copy of it and have different templates. So, up here at subject, you can pick what you want. Sometimes I just like to see it all for my grade and then kind of pick and choose. Just for this example, I know what I'm searching for to show you. I'm going to type in sound. Um, I'm going to start with this one right here. This is a template for some sound boxes. When you click on one, you'll get to preview it first, and then you're going to be able to copy the assignment. And I'm going to show you I'm going to talk about different ways you can use this and make it kind of whatever you want it to be. So for this example, wait for it to pop up here. Okay. Um, Here we go. Sound boxes. There is a spot for 3 sounds. So if you're working, if you've ever used Heggerty or Letterland or all the phonics programs, you may want to have students just practice saying the sounds. So if you say a word like cat, you just want them to do like at and separate the sounds. Okay. This is one way you can use this, and you can have them drag their finger, cat. Okay. You might want them to actually write the letters, at, cat. And the kids can be doing this together as a class. You may first want to start whole group, and like you can do it on the screen with everybody, and then they do it on their own. So we can differentiate this even more. I might say, okay, this one has 4 sounds. I give them 5 sounds, or maybe I'll make them figure out like how many sounds it is. And I can duplicate this as many times as I need to as well. I could even set up auto grading with this. And I quickly want to show you how to duplicate. So let's say you're going to do 3 words with 3 sounds. I can hit the duplicate button, and also deleting. Like I might want to get rid of this slide. You can read over it, but delete the slide. I don't need this intro slide. I can delete the slide. It's just as easy as that. All right, so let's say you want them to write the letter or type the letter and you want it auto-graded. It's kind of the same thing. Fill it in. And I think you kind of I got that figured out from the last thing I showed you. I wanted to show you one other assignment from the library. Okay, cool. And I am already there. Cool. Here's another example. This kind of looks like a hodgepodge, but it's made as a template for you to grab whichever one you need for your students. Vowels are red, consonants are blue. If you are looking for the digraph one, there's this page here, consonant digraphs, maybe R-controlled vowels, whatever you're looking for. And you can even just like create an assignment based off one of those. Ignore this title here. My friend, I was showing her some stuff on here, and I left up my computer. It was my student teacher, actually, and she didn't have a Classkick account, and I just said, you probably won't need this album. But she's like looking through all my stuff. Okay, here we go. Oh, I clicked on the wrong one, didn't I? Oopsie. Here we go. All right. Let's say I just want to focus. Let's just stick with digraphs, okay? Here we go. This is set up as an assignment like students could do. It gives them 3 words to make. But let's say I don't want this. You can easily delete the recording, delete the other recording and the question, and you still have these. And this particular template is set up for multiple letters that they can actually drag and drop. So you can have this set for auto grade, or you can have them actually build the word. So if it was man, can have them actually drag and drop. And it's set for, I think there's like 5 letters for each one, maybe even more. And maybe you want to do math, and they can just put it back, like, which I love. They can grab the TH together. So you could do this whole group. You could like practice it. You could have the kids do it on their own. You could have them do it in a group. Like there's just so many opportunities in Classkick, and I just wanted you to kind of think outside the box. You don't just have to assign this any assignment as is. Like make it your own. Use it as a teaching lesson. Use it as a practice assignment or an assessment. All the different things. But yeah, so I hope that helps.
All right.
That is amazing. Thank you guys so much. All right, so we're going to go ahead and open it up for a little Q&A time. We have a couple of questions already in here, so I'm going to address those first. And then as you guys are thinking of questions, please type them in the Q&A or the chat box, and we'll see them to answer them. So there is a question about when you're giving student feedback in real time, is the feedback only visible to the student in question? So I'd love if one of you could maybe show what that looks like for the students when you're giving feedback. Maybe show that view work tab, what that looks like for giving feedback individually, and then what you might do if you wanted to give feedback or change something whole group.
Umbrella, I'll let you take that one.
I was like, I
Just
got you,
touches that
girl.
with the littles.
Okay, so this is what the screen looks like when you are in whole screen and viewing all students. So right now I have one student actively live in the lesson. So that's this student one down here. As the students click through the slides, you'll be able to see which slides they've viewed. So they will no longer be a gray box anymore. And then this dark gray border is on whatever slide that student is actively on. As they answer questions, so this slide that student one is on right now has 6 multiple choice questions on it. As the student answers it, let's see, this one's going to be associative. So you will be able to see points start to get added to that slide. So I can see as points are increasing, that score is going to go up. When they have reached a majority of the points that are available on that slide, then this points at the bottom will turn green. So you will be able to see that. If I wanted to click on that particular student, I can. You get that view of, it will say the student's name as long as you have them signed in that way. But for today, this is student one is currently on this slide. So I could click on a slide and circle a question for the student, and they would be able to see everything that I write on their slide. And it's only for that student as long as you have gone in that view tab and clicked on a student. If there's something that you want the whole group to see, you'll want to come to your edit tab. So this is what I do during class is I will come to the edit tab and actually write on the slide for all of my students. So if I come to this slide and I'm just going to draw a smiley face, then when I come back to that view work tab, we'll hide unstarted thumbnails. Then you can see on this slide that there is now a smiley face on everybody's slide. So this is really powerful if there were directions that you forgot to add, or if you wanted to highlight a part of the directions to really draw their attention to something, you can do that. This is also in this view and in the student view where you can add stickers. So I have a bunch of custom stickers that I have in here. You can add points or not. One of the ones I use a lot is my giraffe. So even though I have points turned off, I'm watching on my side to see when they get all of them correct. And then I can click on that student's slide and it will add a giraffe to that slide. And then my students, so this is student one, they can see where I circled on their sheet and they can see where I have put the giraffe sticker. So they can see all of that feedback. And if they are on a different slide when you give them feedback, it gives them a notification that your teacher has given you feedback on slide 5. And they can click on it and it will take them back to the slide you've given them feedback on.
I love that. I want to add 2 things. So, you can also record feedback. If for like this, like the littles, I will record myself and post that there instead of typing it. I also love that Braille showed the stickers. Kids love GIFs, GIF, whatever you want to call it. You can even upload those as a sticker.
Bitmojis.
Oh
Hey,
yeah, look
I
at
haven't
you.
updated her from Christmas,
Christmas
but
sweater.
she's there. Yes, I do recording a lot, especially in the virtual environment. I have students that will say through Zoom, like for internet issues, that they can't hear me, that the microphone is breaking up, but I can pull up their slide in Classkick and start recording and say, hey, the parentheses were supposed to be not moving, so this is not commutative property. What would it be? And then I can stop and add that feedback just next to that question. And then they can click and hear me talking to them as if I were right there at their desk
That
talking
is so cool.
about what was going on. So, yeah, lots of different ways. I even like I have a blank Classkick that I use that's just like 11 slides that are completely blank and it's just like a whiteboard for my students. So while they're working out like their homework problems, they can just work there and I get in there and I can do this where I can add recordings or correct where they made mistakes. So lots of different ways you guys can use Classkick.
Okay, so Sarah kind of said she mentioned that if you have multiple classes using the same assignment, you
Mhm.
might not want to put like feedback on there for all of your students. What would you recommend for that? Unless you want all of your classes to see the same edit.
So it's not as big for me. I hide the lesson from the rosters that are later in the day. And so I will teach a class right on all of my classes and then when I go back through, I'll go erase everything. And when you choose eraser, there's a clear all button. So you're not sitting there
Mm,
like wiping the whole thing. So I
okay.
clear everything. And I even have like an image that I put over the screen. So I don't have kiddos that work super far ahead and are not paced with the class. So
Yeah.
I just
Okay.
reset all of that before my next class and then unhide that roster and do the next class.
Oh, what a good idea. Perfect. Thank you for sharing that.
Mhm.
Okay, so we have another one that says, let's see here. Copy and paste from other pages for students gets difficult for them. Is there any workaround? I'm thinking she means like copying and pasting like images or something from other pages. So maybe from like the internet.
Mhm.
Any ideas on that?
Screen clip
I was gonna
is
say
the thing that I
screenshots
use.
and adding the image.
Hmm.
Yeah. So you're having them put it on their device.
Mhm.
Okay. Probably easier for older kids than
Yeah,
younger kids, I would
yeah.
say.
And even in images, like, especially, I know this is more so for math, but I'll have my students, some of my kids don't like to write on the screen. And so they work it out on paper and then use the add image, and there's a camera option. And they just hold their paper up to the screen and take a picture and put it on the slide so that I can see their handwritten work that they did on paper.
That's a great idea. I think another option could be to maybe choose, as a teacher, you could, if you wanted to, choose a few images that you upload to the page as manipulatives, and you let your students choose from those. That way they just have a select few
Mhm.
images. That's another option there. Let's
Manipulative
see here.
questions are my favorite.
Okay, if you are recorded with screen sharing with Zoom, how does the individual feedback work? Guess I mean, is this shown with screen sharing?
You can. So in Zoom, I think if you're asking if you're in Zoom and you're sharing your screen to demo, you can do that. I would open the student preview of the lesson and work through it that way. When I work on the edit tab, I don't share my screen because it's just popping up on all of the students' screens as we're going through the lesson. So if you
Perfect.
wanted
Yep.
to share, yeah, I would use student preview.
Yeah, awesome. Sarah just mentioned that too. She said student preview allows the teacher to pretend to be a student, and then teacher answers will turn green if grades are on. Then you wouldn't have to delete anything at the end of class. Yeah,
Correct.
that's a good idea.
I've been using Classkick for like 2 years before I paid attention to the student preview. I was like, what? How did I miss this?
What is this? Yeah.
Definitely great, great, great.
Okay, I think we've answered these ones. Let me check the chat. There's a Q&A area and a chat area, so I want to make sure I get everything. Adrian says, thanks, y'all. I've been using Classkick for a few years, but learned new things. Love, love, love that letter sound word builder that's already built. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, Kathy. Kathy had some assignments that she submitted to be added to the library, but they're not in there. Kathy, you should email me, please, because I would love to take a look at them and chat with you about it. Was a link at one point to submit assignments, and nobody knows who it went to, like where that link went. So I think some assignments got lost, a few assignments that people submitted. So please send an email to me. I would love to take a look and chat with you about that. My email is katie@classkick.com, and it's just spelled weird. It's it's a unique spelling of Katie, Kaity. So go ahead and send me an email. That would be awesome. All right. I think I answered all of these. Let's see. Oh, how can I prevent my littles from moving forward 2 slides before I'm ready? That's a great question. Savannah.
Braille. Well, I think what Braille does with like the hiding
Okay.
screen, um,
Yeah, hiding those slides. And I was answering some questions. Did you guys talk about the bulk, how you can do that in bulk?
yeah, I think you did, Braille.
Okay,
Um,
perfect. Sorry.
Also, something that you can do would be like to place a big rectangle on the screen and then remove it when you want to get to that slide. Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah, that's a
It's
great
kind of
idea. Like a
silly, but
text
you just
box.
like, yeah, a giant text box, a giant like screen, it was a rectangle, and just delete it when you're ready to get to that slide.
Oh, cute. Yeah, Jessica said a coming soon sign. Yeah, you
Yes,
could do
even
that. You
better than
could,
a giant
yeah,
rectangle.
I love that. Super fun. That's clever. Okay. Sarah also mentioned that at the top of all class view, you can click on percent or point value. That's another helpful hint from Sarah. That's you can change what you organize it as. Okay. Awesome.
One thing I wanted to add, that's really awesome in Classkick that I love, especially for the littles, when you add a YouTube video, it stays in that web page. It doesn't take them to
Yes.
YouTube. Like,
Yep.
that's fantastic.
I love that too. Yeah, it opens like a pop-up in Classkick. So that's really nice.
No, that's one thing
Ryan
we
said
didn't
I'm
show.
not using Classkick, but this um at this time, but I definitely want to explore Classkick and use it soon in my class. That's awesome. I'm excited to hear how you like it, Ryan. All right. I'm going to wrap it up because we just have a couple minutes left here. But let me go ahead and just wrap it up. I would love to just let you guys know that this is a series of 6 webinars. So this was our number 1 webinar, the first one, but we will have 6 more, 5 more over the next 5 weeks, and they're all at the same time, at the same 4 p.m. Central Time on Tuesdays over the next 5 weeks. And I'm super excited to see what else we have in store for you guys. I want you guys to come back and see more tips and tricks with Classkick. And then we are going to be sending recordings out to everyone who registered. And then you will also get in your inbox, if you attended this recording or this session, you'll be getting a little like cheat sheet for us of our favorite assignments in the library for each grade level and subject area. So we'll give you one of each just to kind of have it compiled for you where you can just easily click the links to download them into your account and check them out. So thank you guys so much for being here. We really appreciate it, and we hope to see you next week. And
Mhm.
thank
Thank
you,
you.
Savannah and Rayleigh.
Thank
You guys
you.
did awesome.
Mhm.
Thanks, everybody.